All right, let's jump into another deep dive. Today, we're going to Baltimore, Station East neighborhood specifically.
Interesting choice.
It is. It's a story about urban revitalization, but not your typical one. We're going to see the strategies, right? How they got people to move there and what we can all learn from it. All this is from a Baltimore Sun article, by the way. It reads like you're on a train watching this neighborhood transform.
I like that, like a journey.
Yeah. So picture this. 2013 Station East, struggling, big time. 70% vacancy, houses are, well, they're falling apart.
Sadly, not uncommon.
Right. And the people who live there, they wanted to stay.
Yeah.
But it was rough, a tough situation.
Yeah, but what's interesting here is they didn't just wait around. The historic East Baltimore Community Action Coalition, they stepped up.
They did.
And they got Johns Hopkins Hospital involved. That collaboration, that's key.
Big time. So first things first, they did a planning study, figure out what's what, then demolish the worst houses, 90 of them, replace them with green space. Can you imagine?
Smart move. Less blight, more appeal.
Right. Plus, they bought 41 row houses, fix them up and sell them, turning eyesores into, well, homes.
It's holistic, right? Not just slapping on paint. It's thinking long-term, involving the community.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, about the money. Ted Rouse, James Rouse's son, he put in $250,000.
Oh, wow. Through his company.
Now, Healthy Planet LLC. But it wasn't just about profit for him. He wanted to see the neighborhood truly transform.
That's the kind of investor you want, right? Someone who gets it. Makes you wonder, could this model work elsewhere? Struggling areas? I mean...
That's the big question. So, plans in place, money's there, community's on board, time to rebuild.
And they did it right. Not just basic renovations. These houses, they brought them up to historic preservation standards.
Oh, yeah. There's this one example. They restored an old ad on a brick wall.
Oh, I love that. What was it for?
A Czech immigrant's bakery. Imagine that, huh? And to make them more livable, excavated basements for extra bedrooms. And, get this, 3 original homeowners. Got renovated homes, traded for their old ones. Pretty cool, right? Honoring the past, building the future.
Absolutely. That attention to detail, it matters. Shows respect, adds character. People are drawn to that.
They sure are. And to draw people in, they came up with a name. Station East. Like, playing off that trendy Station North area.
Clever. Branding is everything.
The director of the coalition, Ed Sabatino, he said, "We are not just building houses, we are building a neighborhood. We want to make a good place. A nice house in a lousy neighborhood is a hard sell."
Makes sense. Got to create that whole package.
So they had the houses, the name, the vision, time for buyers.
Right.
But this is where it gets interesting. They were thinking single, African-American women looking for affordable homes.
Right, that makes sense. But
millennials started showing up.
yeah.
Became these, like, pioneers in Station East.
Wow. That's fascinating. Talk about a demographic shift. Why do you think they came?
Yeah. Is it affordability?
Yeah.
That urban vibe? Or something else? We'll get into that. But first, got to talk about those incentives. They're huge, especially for first-time buyers.
Incentives are crucial. Make it possible, especially these days.
For sure. Okay, so Johns Hopkins. They offered $17,000 to employees who bought in Station East.
Big help. Employer involvement is awesome.
It is. Then there's the city tax credit, right? 10 years. About $700 a year in taxes. Can you believe it?
That's incredible. Takes the pressure off long term.
Right. Plus, since those houses were empty before, another $10,000 from the city. On top of the other stuff.
It adds up fast. What else?
Oh, the Able Foundation, they gave $10,000 to teachers, police, firefighters, essential folks.
That's smart. Attract the people who make a community strong.
Exactly. So you got all these incentives working together. Makes a difference.
And not just perks, it's a system. Sustainable, helps people actually buy these homes.
Like puzzle pieces, fitting just right.
Especially for millennials, student loans and all that. It's a real leg up.
A bridge, right, to owning a home.
And back to what Sabatino said, making sure the people already there, they benefit, not pushed out,
It's that balance. Growth without pushing folks out. Tough, but they seem to be doing it. Now, those renovations, they were really something. Rouse worked with architects to make the homes historically accurate, but energy efficient too.
That's brilliant. Old charm, modern living.
The best of both worlds, past and future, coming together.
It's sending a message. You don't have to choose. You can have both.
Exactly. So we got the backstory, the plan, the money, the amazing renovations. But what's the lasting impact?
That's what we got to figure out. We've seen the good, the challenges. What do you think so far? Anything stand out to you?
Yeah, what's surprising you about all this? Think about it. We're going to be back soon to talk about what Station East means for everyone. Stay tuned.
Station East, it's a really good example, how to bring a neighborhood back to life. It's not just about building, it's about the people, the community, the opportunity.
Making it a place where people actually want to be.
Right. But can it work in other cities? Can they copy what Station East did?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is. Every place is different, sure. But there are some things, some key things Station East shows us, like getting the community involved right from the start, finding the right partners.
And getting the money from different sources, not just one place. And that focus on the buildings and the people.
It's about seeing what's possible, even when things look bad. Having that vision, that energy.
And Station East, it's a real inspiration, shows what we can do when we work together.
Absolutely. But what about the people who live there? The ones who stayed and the new folks?
Yeah, did it work for them? I mean, the article doesn't say much about that.
It does mention, remember, Sabatino. He said existing residents, they got to be a part of it, benefit from it.
It's walking that line, right? Progress, but keep it affordable so people aren't forced out.
That's the challenge, isn't it?
Yeah. It would be cool to hear from the residents. What's it like living there now?
Yeah. Their stories, they tell us so much.
Another piece of the puzzle, right? The human side of all this.
And it reminds us, revitalization, it doesn't just stop. It keeps going. There's going to be bumps, got to adjust.
Speaking of unexpected stuff, those millennials who moved in?
Yeah.
That's not what people thought would happen, right?
Well, not at all. You'd think they'd want all shiny and new. But Station East, it's got that old charm.
Those details, like that bakery ad, they like that stuff.
Seems like they want more than just, the cool stuff. They want something real, a connection.
They want a story. And Station East has one.
Makes you think, why else are they coming? Tired of everything looking the same, wanting something with roots.
Could be. Plus, it's got to be cheaper than those brand new places. Especially for millennials, they're dealing with a lot.
It's like social, economic, environmental stuff all coming together.
They're changing things up, wanting something more than just the newest thing.
That gives me hope. Maybe we're moving towards better ways to build cities.
Cities that are good for the people and the buildings.
Yeah.
But those incentives we talked about, did they really work?
That's the big question. To know for sure, we need more info, right? Like how much do people earn around there? How much were houses before and after?
Like we're missing some puzzle pieces.
Exactly. But even without that, I think it helped. Combining all those incentives. Imagine a teacher, right? They could get that ABLE grant, the Hopkins one, the tax credit. That's got to help.
Yeah, each one makes it easier, leads to the next.
But is it enough? With prices going up, that's the thing.
And not just in Station East, it's everywhere.
How do you make it better and keep it affordable? That's what cities are trying to figure out.
That balance again, right?
Yeah.
Tough stuff. But Station East, it shows what's possible.
It does, and it makes you think, what could go wrong? What can we learn from all this? The good and the bad.
How can other places use those lessons to make things better?
So as we wrap this up, think about what we've talked about. What stuck with you?
What surprised you? What parts of Station East really resonated?
And think about where you live. If you could change things, what would you do? What kind of future do you see?
Hang on to those thoughts. We're coming back to talk about the bigger picture, what Station East means for all of us. We've really dug into Station East, haven't we? All the details, the ups and downs, the surprises. But when you zoom out, it makes you think, maybe we need to change how we think about fixing up cities.
Yeah, for a long time it's been about bringing in, fancier folks, businesses with more money. And the people who are already there, they kind of get left behind.
Like trying to make every city the same.
Yeah.
All sleek and modern, but you lose what made it special in the first place.
Exactly. You lose that history, that soul. But Station East, they did it different. They made it nicer, but they kept it affordable.
It's a tough balance, isn't it?
It is. You need good plans, smart rules, and you got to really get the community what they need, what they want.
And those millennials moving into Station East, what's that tell us about what younger people are looking for?
It's like they're saying, hey, we want more than just, the surface stuff, the fancy gyms, the expensive stores. They want something real.
They want a place with some soul.
Right. They want that history, that connection to the past. Those restored details. It's like a story being told.
And Station East has a great story, doesn't it? It's a story that speaks to them, Something more meaningful.
Maybe they're tired of everything being so samey. They want something unique with some roots.
Or maybe they're realizing that holding on to the past can actually help us build a better future.
That gives me hope, honestly. It says people are starting to value the history of our cities. They want places that are modern, but still connected to what came before.
Places that tell a story. places where you feel like you belong.
And that brings us back to the big question, right? What have we learned from Station East? What can you, listening, take away from all this?
Station East shows us that we can make things better, even when it seems impossible. It's about people working together, finding the right partners, and having a good plan.
And remembering, it's not a quick fix. It takes time. There'll be bumps along the way.
But Station East shows us if you have a vision, if you work for it, you can build a better future, one that honors the past.
So as you go about your day, think about Station East. Think about your own community. What makes it special? What could be better?
If you could change things, what would you do? What's your vision for the future?
Hold on to those thoughts. Keep asking those questions. And most importantly, let's keep talking about it. Keep learning from each other. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
We'll see you next time.